We are preparing to live stream. Dun, dun, dun.
Now streaming live.
Oh, wait.
Yep,
Hold on,
we are
I gotta hit
live.
the button. I know that.
We are here. I can
We
see
are
us.
live. I see us. I see Phil's ambulance too. Look at that. He's all good to go. Look at that. Made it happen today. Amy jumped in too. Look at that. As we go live, everybody joins in. We were just wondering. But I would say that everybody's a little slower today on, what's today, February 19th, because we're all dealing with the cold in our own way, I'm sure. So maybe everybody's going to jump in a little bit slower, but that's cool. We got some time. So welcome to the 555 Pulse Check, powered by ZOLL. And nope, sorry about that. I had someone looking like they were coming out to ask me a question, but they weren't. We're here for our second.
Mute for 1 second.
Good. We are here for our second Pulse Check, and joining us from around the country, we have our good friend Phil, who's out there in Indiana. Give us a wave there, Phil. And Amy's setting up her stuff. She is definitely in a place that is way colder than, maybe not any of us, though, I think. I don't know. It all depends, because CJ's down there in Texas. Bobby jumped away, but she's out in Ohio. And we have our good friends from ZOLL representing today, Terry the Man Kehoe and his lovely wife, Sarah, who's off on Fridays, who has this halo around her head from her life on my screen right now. So, and now Ryan's jumping in for work, which is even cooler. But thank you all for joining us. We're so happy to have you. How's everyone doing today?
Awesome.
Great.
Ready to go.
Doing good.
CJ, you're nice and warm. You know, Texas is not known for its cold spells, so you've definitely had a week, I would say, right?
Yeah, it's been interesting experience. It has literally never been this cold in my life. The last time it was below in the single digits was in 87, and it hasn't been 0 or below since 1930 or 40.
Well, that hasn't been in any of our lives. So hopefully that is just out of control. But, you know, that's something when we think about our careers as emergency services providers, and this reason to stay healthy and as fit as we can be is we don't know what the day is going to throw at us. You know what I mean? And I know, CJ, I don't know what you were running, but I know some folks in Houston, and one of them had told me that the Houston Fire Department runs 1,000 calls in 24 hours, and that at the height of the storm, they ran over 8,000 calls in 72 hours.
I can't remember what our numbers were. Our station usually averages for the engine about 10 to 12 on average, of busy days around 18 or 20, and 2 of the shifts in the height of the storm and the day after ran over 40 on the engine. The truck ran over 40, and then the medic ran however many in that one station. So that was a lot for us.
and that's too, you know, that's 40 calls, but you're also driving at if you're driving at a quarter of the speed. I mean, we went to a fire last night that would normally take us about, I don't know, let's just say 3 or 4 minutes to get to, and I think it took us probably about 10. You know, just slowly trudging along to get there. So it's definitely one of those things that when we talk about fitness, you know, it keeps it important because we're taking care of ourselves. Working out there in the elements is never fun, but if you are healthier, you're definitely going to be able to be more productive when that happens. And what's up, Ryan? I saw you jump in there while we were talking, but you do some hydrant shoveling today out there in New Jersey?
No hydrant shoveling, but traveling through the snow.
Because remember, folks, we can do the PSA too. You want to shovel out that hydrant in front of your house, because if you need it, you want it to be nice and clean. So save the firefighters from coming out to do it, because CJ now knows how that goes too, is shoveling out hydrants probably at some point, or de-icing hydrants.
We didn't have to yet. I don't think we'll have to. We should be in the melting stage now.
Cool, running broken pipes. But we're not here to talk about our careers in frozen hydrants and the cold. Today, we're really going to focus on scaling a workout. You know, and we talked about it last month. I think after the workout, just the different reasons for scaling a workout. And we decided to be a great topic to kind of jump into today. for about 10 or 15 minutes before everybody gets into the workout. And we picked a workout that has 4 movements that you can scale pretty much however you like to, but there's a few reasons for scaling. And I think the first one that I kind of want to talk about that a lot of people don't even think about is when you hear the word scaling, everybody thinks scaling the workout down. So making the movement, I don't want to say easier because that's not the right word to use, but kind of scaling the workout back. But you can also scale the workout up. And that comes to however you feel your ability to do the workout is. And when we come to that, CJ, I know you wanted to talk about a specific three-letter word that you think is the big part of scaling. So do you want to go ahead and start us off on that one for a little bit?
I'm guessing you're talking about ego.
That ego when it comes to it, because we all face that ego right there, right? When it comes to scaling and things.
Yeah, I just went back through our text messages, and we were talking about something, and I talked about, it was during one of our lives, and I said I didn't want to embarrass myself because I wasn't 100%. And you're like, we're all coming as we are. I was like, I know, but my ego doesn't listen well to reason. I feel like that gets us a lot of the time. But
that is so the truth for so many of us, that our ego doesn't want to listen to us, right? And that we just kind of think, hey, I can do this and I don't need to change it. But a lot of times we have to change it. And that's where scaling comes in. And I know, Terry, you've changed recently a lot of the workouts. You do a barbell to dumbbells, right? You changed the implement that you're using, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I want to be in the barbell club and I want to be doing barbell workouts all the time, but you're right. Sometimes you need to put your ego aside and say, a set of 30-pound 30-pound dumbbells is all I need.
Yeah. That is the God's honest truth, because a set of 30-pound dumbbells will own you in a good workout.
Well, and every workout typically has a goal it's trying to reach, whether it's to tax you as far as like numbers of high endurance, high reps, maybe a lighter weight versus doing a strength test of doing a heavier weight. But that's what scaling is really for, is to meet the goal of the workout that you need to accomplish. So whether that's changing what movements you have or changing the weight to go up or down to meet that goal, or it's tailoring it to you as an individual. It's not, you're not strong enough to do this, or you're not talented enough with this movement. We're trying to accomplish something in the workout. We want you to accomplish it in that way. If you get stuck in the first movement because it's too heavy or it's too high of a skill for where you're at in that moment, then it doesn't do you any good.
And that totally goes back to that ego. And I will gladly raise my hand, because it just happened one day this week. It's Friday today, and the days all mixed together, but I definitely was like, oh no, these 30-pound dumbbells are too heavy right now. It's time for the 25s. And I thought about it for a minute, because the ego got in the way, and was like, I can keep going. And then I took one more rep and was like, nope, right to the 25s. And that's a big thing, because you are trying to achieve a goal with this. Some people have very specific goals. Some people, the goal is just to be healthier. I know that's my main goal in all of this, is to be healthier, stronger, faster, healthier, those types of basic things. So if I'm not getting the stimulus that whoever wrote the workout, programmed the workout, wanted from that, I need to change what I'm doing. And some days, come on, you guys have all seen me work out. I'm a body weight ninja. There's days where body weight means I have to add more weights, and I have to scale up, because if I did that workout that way, it just wouldn't be appropriate for me. It's a good way to put it. And that's what we're going to talk about when we go over these movements. And I know you guys all have different scales you want to do, but something that Bobby has spent a lot of time talking about when it comes to scaling is scaling for injury. Because all too often we have someone that has an injury, and instead of scaling for that injury, they don't do anything. And that starts to lead us down that road of, well, I missed a workout today, I missed a workout tomorrow, the next day, the next thing you know, it's 2 weeks later and you hadn't worked out. because of that injury. So is that something, Bobby? I know you're going to change some stuff today because of that, but you probably have a better way to explain it than I do.
I feel like everybody just is trying to work out to prove a point, and I can't. I'm 43. I still work full time in EMS, and I can't do it injured. So I will always scale it. I've never tried to be any type of physique, anything. So for me, it's moving my body and whatever way that hurts me the least, because I don't recover like I used to. So I'm going to adapt a bunch of the things today.
I think that's a good word too, and use it a lot, that adapt. You adapt these workouts to what works for you. And I know with 555, we've tried to continually produce workouts that allow for a lot of adaptations. We may not give the adaptations all the time, but I guarantee if you were to reach out to us, we would be able to point you in the direction of what you need to adapt. And I think you're going to see that a lot today with the workouts that we have. Unfortunately, I didn't run another screen to put the workout up or change it to my background. That was because Jeremy, the producer, is not here today, CJ, we forgot to set up the background shot there.
I can write it down somewhere and hold it up.
I know, I didn't even write it down to say, like, look, it's my whiteboard, I could do that. But the workout we're gonna go through today, it'll be in the comments below. I'll make sure I type it at the end of the stream because I know I can do that now because I have the technologies behind me. It's a 15-minute AMRAP. We kept the rep scheme all 15s just for ease of operations with this, that it's the time and it's just 15 reps. We had someone that was gonna come on today, but he unfortunately couldn't make it. He wanted to scale it up to 20 reps. Totally fine if you wanna scale the reps up to 20. I think that's a good way to scale up there. Terry's got it up there for us. Look at that, all professional. But today's workout, 15-minute AMRAP, 15 step-ups, 15 push-ups, 15 air squats, and 15 presses of sorts. You can put it down, Terry. I don't want you to hold it up there the whole time for us. But when we look at these moves, we're going to see everybody kind of doing them a little bit differently, and when we talk about how to scale step-ups, obviously the best way or the easiest way or the most recommended way to scale step-ups is to change the height of your step. I know for me, a 20-inch box, 20-inch step is a really good step for me at my height. Someone taller is going to want to use a taller step. If you have some type of a knee problem or any type of lower extremity injury, I would recommend an even lower step than that. When the kids work out with us, I just stack plates for them and they use plates for their step-ups.
I don't have a box today, so I'm just going to use my step stool.
Oh, there you go. Look at that, multiple use. And you can always actually use a step. In the firehouse that I work in, we use steps. I see Amy has got the step aerobics, multiple, I made my box with all these things, step there. But totally works to get your adjustable height in there. I know Phil is going to use the back bumper of the ambulance, and it looks like Ryan is going to use the back bumper of the engine there. You got a box? Yep. So, you see these varied height steps. Perfect scale for it. Another good scale for step-ups is to hold a weight while you're doing it. CJ's puppy jumped in too. You could hold your puppy while you're doing your step-up.
Yeah.
But you can hold 2 dumbbells in a farmer's carry position. You could hold a plate at your chest. You can pretty much
back rack my sandbag because the steps are real low. I'm just going to back rack a sandbag and add some weight.
Another perfect one there is throw the sandbag up on the back rack. You could throw the sandbag up on one shoulder for one round and switch it to the other shoulder for the other round, but you get that weighted option to go move up with your step-ups. We get into push-ups, and we've talked about this one a lot on 555 Lives because we do a lot of push-ups. We have to maybe change it next month. No more push-ups next month. But there's multiple ways to scale push-ups, from using the wall, push-ups on your knees, to hand release push-ups or feet elevated push-ups as an advanced scale for those. So again, you can scale up or down.
I'm going to do a floor press today for those just because of my wrist.
Because Bobby does not do push-ups, so the floor press is another way. If you have dumbbells, you could do the floor press with dumbbells as well. You could also sub a row if you wanted to for push-ups, depending on your injury level there. I would not weight these push-ups. That's just me, because these push-ups are going to catch you quite rapidly. And you can see Terry shaking his head about that one for sure. So I would not go with the hand release or the foot elevated push-ups for these. You could also too use how Ryan's using the back bumper of the engine there. You can use those for the push-ups too. So you're not on a wall, but you're on some type of an elevated surface. And I'll demo those while the workout's going on with my box behind me, because I'm definitely gonna have to start moving here in a little bit. It is so cold in my garage. My feet are freezing. After push-ups, we're jumping into air squats. Air squats, again, can be weighted. You can hold a weight in a goblet form. You can hold a plate. You can put sandbag on your back like Bobby was talking about before. You could do it in the front rack if you wanted to. They don't necessarily have to be air. And if you have issues with doing the squats, you can always do them to a chair or to some type of an object behind you, so that when you stood up, if you had to, you could just sit back down. And last but not least is the press. With the presses, the best way to scale them is going to be which weight you use. And if you see today, we did not prescribe a weight for this. So this is going to be any weight that you feel is appropriate for you to be able to do safely for 15 reps, 15 minutes long. CJ, you got anything else on this one, or should we get these folks going?
No, I think we can probably get them going. The only thing I would say with that that press one is kind of go a little bit lighter maybe, because it is going to wear you out. And the whole point is you want to move through this pretty quick without having to take a lot of breaks. And so a lighter weight's going to allow you to do that. So light to moderate weight probably.
And something too to remember with the press, you could do a push press too and use your legs. Just because it says press, just because it says press, you may not have light enough dumbbells to be able to strict press 15 times. If that's the case, use your lower body, small dip, and do push presses. I know in some of the firehouses in my department, we only have 30 and 35 pound dumbbells. That's going to get taxing to strict press for 15 minutes. So just get that push press in right from the beginning. Same thing if you're using a barbell or a heavier sandbag. So, and then also too, we're going to talk about it. These guys get into it using some station equipment and things. But if you guys want to start to get ready, we'll get going here in like 30 seconds. If everybody's kind of there, we're starting with the step ups. Like I said, I'm sorry, I didn't do the background. Oh, Ryan is scaling up with his rucksack on. So there you go. Look at that little scale he jumped in. I like it. So Ryan's got a weighted ruck that he's going to be wearing for this workout. So he scaled up his push-ups, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to talk about that as he goes as well. Right, CJ?
Yep.
And once Bobby gets back in, I got the clock. Once Bobby comes, we lost Bobby. You see Bobby's assault bike there in the background, though. It's always nice. When you see an assault bike in someone's living room, it's my kind of house.
That's where mine's at right now, and a whole bunch of dumbbells.
See? Should be out in the garage like me in freezing cold.
Nope. Won't do it.
I totally worked out in the basement the other day because it was so cold in the garage, and it was body weight only.
I wasn't exactly feeling it anyways, and so I was trying to make it as likely as I could, like really incentivize myself. Like, it's not that bad.
It's not that cold. It's not that cold. Don't worry about it, Ryan. You do what you got to do, bud. I got your text. All right, everybody ready with the thumbs up? All right, we'll get that 10-second countdown going here. 10 seconds. 2, 1, let's hit it. We'll hit those step ups. So one of the things that while we're just starting and everybody's moving, that I like to see when people do step ups is that full extension when you're standing up. So you see Sarah pushing her hips forward to get that full extension and really get the most out of the step up.
Yeah, opening up those hips is what you'll hear from a lot of like CrossFit coaches, is make sure you open your hips, get that full hip extension at the top, not staying slightly bent over.
I think too, and that's one of the things that, the coaches are saying that full extension because they want you to get your full range of motion. That's something for us as emergency providers, whether you're a firefighter, you're an EMT, whatever you're doing, we want that full range of motion in everything we do in our jobs, because we need that, because it's going to help us to lift safer and just be safer overall.
Well, the way I have always kind of thought of it is whenever someone does like a push press overhead, but maybe stops right here, that's usually because of limiting space is that part of the movement, right? So if I don't train that part of the movement, either getting the mobility for it or getting that strength in that end range of motion, then if that part gets challenged, I'm not as strong in it and something's likely to go wrong. So,
and that part too, when you're on the job, you know, and you're doing something, you can't just stop here some days.
right.
You know, like again, I went to a fire last night. The truck had to cut a roll-up door, and they're gonna make the biggest cut possible, right? So the tallest, I wasn't on the truck.
I was gonna say, you didn't get picked.
Don't pick me to cut the roll-up door. If it's the lock, I gotta cut the pin all day.
Right.
Cut the low pin, whatever you need. But if you want to do a V cut, we gotta find the tallest guy there. But
right.
You also want that person to have full range of motion to get that big cut. You know, and that's where we see things like shoulder injuries happening, where they are not training to go full extension when they're there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and mobilizing to be able to get into that position too, I feel like is where we see a lot of injuries.
So it's great too. We're talking about these overhead movements, and you see Sarah's using one dumbbell.
Yeah.
So she's holding it in a goblet style and pressing it just like it would almost be a barbell like Terry's using in the background. A lot of times people think, oh no, 2 dumbbells like Amy's using right now. But I think that one dumbbell is just a great way that if you don't have a lot of equipment, there you go, you know, hotel gym and you're working out with somebody else or anything like that, it's still going to elicit that great move.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Bobby's got her sandbag and you can see her, she's making sure to get her head through at the top in that press, and she's using kind of a push press because she's having to do a heavier weight for the sandbag. So that's a good substitute. Also, I was thinking earlier, for the most part, this can be done with no weights. For the press, you could always do I can't remember what it's called, but almost like a push up from a V position. Or a handstand push-up.
Like it would be like if you had almost like an elevated push-up. So you're gonna go. Hold on, let me move some stuff. I haven't planned on this. You caught me off guard with this. Not crack my club, but you're gonna go into like a pike push-up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see me.
Yep.
For sure.
That'll hit the same kind of muscle groups. So you could do this entire workout without equipment.
Yeah. For sure. Where are we at here? I'm trying to, this is like everybody's moving all over the place. So, and two, you know, even we've talked about this a little bit too, but you know, if you're on an ambulance and you don't have a station, using that back step or the side door step just for step ups, hey, do 2 minutes of step ups every hour. Trust me, you're going to feel them by the end of the day. You know, it's going to be something that you can go wherever you are. CJ, you literally disappeared and then just reappeared on my screen like snap, like magic.
My computer is not charging. I gotta find a plug real quick.
But you can use your ambulance as your workout station, you know, and if need be, grab the med bag and hold the med bag or hold the oxygen bag with you. You know, a lot of bags like Ryan's using his ruck. A lot of EMS bags now have straps on them. So you're able to strap that on your back and do your step ups, you know, every hour, 5 minutes of step ups, 2 minutes of step ups, wherever your scale may be. And something, let's see, whereas I'm looking here, we see Amy, she's holding her kettlebell for her squats. So she's weighted her squats with a single kettlebell. Again, another great way to do that. Another thing you could do is if you have a weight plate, you can hold the weight plate in front of you and just use a weight plate for this whole workout. So you're doing your squats with your weight plate. You're doing your presses with the weight plate. The problem, pressing the weight plate though, you just have to turn it when you bring it down. So it's this way and then all the way up again. But just one more element that you can do where if you don't have a lot, you can make this workout happen.
Yeah. So earlier we were talking about different movements you could do on our website. We do have exercise alternatives under the workout tab. where we list some things that people can do to scale up, scale down.
What's that website, CJ? Why, you just talked about it, you
That
know?
website is 555fitness.org.
You could find all kinds of great information there.
Lots of things. Yep. We've updated it fairly recently. So we have, we've added that. We have our workout programs on there. We post, for those who don't have Instagram or Facebook, they can get on there and see the most recent posts that have our workouts on them. Our grant information is on there. Trying to think of what else. The last year's winners is all updated.
All of our partners are on there. You know, if you want to support us, the donate button is there. I don't know if CJ threw that one in or not. You guys got about 8 minutes left too. We're coming up on that 8-minute mark. I always like in a 15-minute workout when you get to the 7-minute mark, because I know what that means. You're on the downhill slope there, but you're at the 8-minute mark. I would look up now, but I would use this again in this form of workout. If I saw it was 8 minutes, in my head, I would tell myself I have 1 minute to go, and I'm more than halfway there type thing. Like I'm getting there to the end of it. So
I was doing that today. I did my workout right before we got on here, and I was doing weighted planks. For the workout called for 20 to 30 seconds, weighted planks, and all I had in the house with me was a 20-pound dumbbell, was the lightest thing. And so in my head, I was like, okay, I just have to make it to 25. And then I'd hit 25 and I'm like, 5 more seconds, I might as well keep going.
I could just keep going there. That to me though, again, that's one of those things that it translates into life, and it translates into our career with, like, you know, I just have to keep going. Like, I have to figure out a way to kind of power through this. Those are also the times too, like in this workout, I know when I did this the other day, that at about this point, I was really starting to catch myself breathing too fast, you know, and doing that, like, oh man, I was moving too fast. So now it's like, slow down your breathing.
Yeah.
Think about what you need to do here, and keep working through these movements like you are. So
yeah, I really appreciate fitness for how in tune it's made me with when a muscle group isn't doing its job, it isn't working, or it feels like off a little bit, for me to recognize it and be able to address it before it becomes an issue. And that's usually with corrective exercises, maybe scaling or adapting a workout to do some movements I need versus the movements that are written, that kind of stuff.
Go grab some of our grant partner stuff. Go grab a hypervolt, or get on your crossover symmetry, because you know it's your shoulders that are tight. You know,
using that like crazy.
You are in tune with that, you know. And I think too, another good scale for this workout that I talked about grabbing your EMS bags or grabbing a high-rise kit. This is a pretty good air pack workout too. You know, we see people on social media working out with air packs on, and they're doing, I'm all about the dead hang and maybe the strict pull up with an air pack on, because I serve the purpose. Once I see people start kipping and butterflying with an air pack on, I'm all about the kip and butterfly pull up, not with an air pack on. But something like this, you know, your step ups, if you keep them low, you know, your air squats, if you keep them kind of slow, the pack isn't really going to move. The same with the push-ups. You're going to have that flat back, and it's almost going to keep you in a position that you're supposed to be in, because if you start to lean, the bottle's just
feel it.
Yeah, it's not going to feel too good. So this is definitely a good air pack workout. You know, this gives you, depending on your make, model, and manufacturer, anywhere from 20 to 40 pounds extra on the back, I guess we could say, depending on what you got going on there. But I think this is a pretty good in-station air pack workout for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Depending on how you do it, you could take off the air pack and use it for your press if you don't have anything else available, like a high rise or something. Yep. Just watch out for them straps.
I would definitely recommend going strap front.
Yeah.
It's pretty good with the G1, because the plastic, the harness has 2 handles on the outside of it that really.
That is nifty.
Hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where this is another good air pack one. You know, I do think too, this works pretty good. Like you see Ryan pressing the ruck there, but if you have a 50-foot 1 3/4 high-rise pack or bundle, really good one for that. to be honest, the bundles work better because they got handles. The bundle, you can handle it better as opposed to the pack where you're trying to grab the outside handles. 4 minutes, guys. You guys got 4 minutes left too.
Yeah, one of the cool things about getting to see some applications for the grant is I get to see how creative some of them get with what they have available. It's amazing what the human mind can come up with, and I love it. I see stuff and I'm like, I never thought of that. Like, I need to do that.
We don't use the CPAT here in New Jersey, but obviously I've helped a lot of people through their CPATs, and we've talked to a lot of people that use it, and seeing stations make their own CPAT kind of training props, to me, like you said, it just blows your mind. And I'm like, I never would have thought to use that for that. Or like,
yeah, people get pretty creative.
We just threw 12 of those out, and I could have turned that into some kind of a weight machine. Like, what am I, an idiot? Like, how did I miss this one when I looked at those?
Everybody's doing great. Good job, guys. Keep it up.
Yep, and you see too, we had talked about that. Phil was scaling those push-ups using the back bumper of the ambulance for the, I can't think of what they're called, like almost like an incline, not an incline, we lost
Incline
the clock.
push-up?
We lost the clock.
No.
What happened there? But you guys got a little while left to go. I'll keep you going on that one. But I'd rather lose the clock than this feed. So we'll have to figure out what happened there. But
just if anybody's watching, trying to ask questions, my YouTube chat is not working, so I apologize. Shoot us a message on Instagram or Facebook, or go to our website and you can shoot us questions if you have any about any of this, or just check out our website for some resources. But chat has not been working this whole time.
Oh, sorry, I'm in a different YouTube screen. Let me see if somebody is chatting. No one's chatting. I just went and checked, so we're okay with that. And it's going to be interesting when it comes down to ending it, but we'll figure that one out. You guys got less than 2 minutes left, less than 2 minutes. So try and make wherever you're at now, you get through this round. You know, this is one of those points where you want to make it down through the round you're in. Phil's also going single arm kettlebell.
Yeah, I just noticed that. It's a good
like
idea. Going straight back into the step ups.
It's one of those things too with the kettlebells that, you know, people only think kettlebell like, oh, I need to swing this. Like I've seen people do, you know, if you look up the 300 workout, they use kettlebells. That was like my first introduction to kettlebells. And then if you look at any CrossFit things, you see people going overhead when they swing it. But there's so many uses for kettlebells: goblet squats, presses, snatches. Farmers carries with kettlebells are in what's the word I want to use there?
Terrible.
Way harder than they are with dumbbells.
Yeah.
They suck with dumbbells, but way harder. Less than a minute, guys. Less than a minute to go. So that kettlebell is really a versatile piece of fitness equipment.
Yeah, there's workout organizations or pages that you can follow that only use a kettlebell. And again, people get pretty creative. If you have a lighter one, you can flip it bell up and use that for a press. It'll challenge the stabilizing muscles. And
30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds left. Oh, there's a mini Bobby moving her step away from her. She can't do step ups anymore. She must need to change a light bulb or something. Like get something on a high shelf.
It was stolen.
Maybe she's clearing the ice off the gutters. As you heard us talking about. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. Good job, guys. Way to go, everybody. So sorry that I lost the clock there for you. I feel bad.
This is what happens when Jeremy's not here.
This is what
everything
happens.
falls apart.
Everything falls. Listen, we got it happening today. I'm so happy. He and I had a meeting this morning and we went over how to do everything, you know, but this is what happens. We didn't do the background and the clock broke. So
That's all right.
we made it happen without our friend Jeremy. We do have
proud of us.
Well, everybody's kind of catching their breath before we start talking to him, you know. Again, huge thank you to Jeremy and all the folks at National Fire Radio. We definitely are in the planning stages for some more things between 555 Fitness and National Fire Radio this year. just hoping to get back out there with them, and starting to put some stuff together with some of the folks that they have really good arrangements with that want to include some of the things that 555 Fitness does. So we can't thank them enough for letting me hijack their YouTube channel today and us kind of get this workout in. But what did you think? Ryan, who was texting me before the workout, we'll start with Ryan, being I got a text.
It was a good workout.
How much was in your ruck?
45.
45. Did you throw just a dumbbell in there, or what do you got in there?
No, I got a ruck plate and then a 5-pound weight, 35, 35 and a 10-pound weight.
Okay. So for the folks that aren't familiar with a ruck pack or a ruck plate, it's just a flat weighted plate that goes into Ryan's ruck pack there that allows him to
I got to run.
Be safe.
Later.
All right, later, man. Be safe. Look at that. Good thing we asked him first. Everything.
Good timing.
Yeah. And two, and we're not going to go down the rucking line now, but if you want to get a good workout in and you're in the station and you got a set of stairs, just throw some weight in the backpack or throw your SCBA on and just ruck away, because God bless you, Bobby.
Let's see.
A ruck is no joke. Oh, someone's signing in. I don't know who.
Maybe he got canceled.
Maybe that's not how you spell his last name though, but someone's signing in there. But rucking is a great way to go. So Amy, what did you think? We saw you were doing some goblet squats. I know I saw them in there.
I thought it was a good workout. It was good. And I liked how you were talking about throwing a pack on. I love working out, throwing a pack on. I didn't today, but that's why I came here. So I had options. I had more options than in my living room.
Yeah.
Always more options than in your living room. Grabbing the pillow is never the right weight to pick for presses and things like that. So, that's always good. I do see though, one day we're gonna have to get some tire swings. When the weather gets better, we may have to do some sledge swings in one of these live workouts, because I see that tire back there. Tire flips and sledge swings are some of my favorite stuff to do. And that's strongman style. Phil, what about you? We saw you using the single arm kettlebell.
Yeah, I just wanted to play with the new toy I got, so that's pretty much the reason I did that.
Did you do, we didn't watch the whole time, so did you do 15 one arm and then the next round you did 15 the other arm?
Yeah, I alternated it.
Again, totally fine in something like this where if you only have one kettlebell, you're still getting that same stimulus going in there as you would without it. So I love it that you were jumping in there with that. So that was pretty good. And now there's a baby in the screen too. So what's happening? Terry, what did you think?
My chest's gonna be real sore tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Was it the push-ups that got you?
It was the push-ups and then the presses at the end. I was breaking those up. That was real tough at the end. So good workout, great stimulus.
But that's a smart way to do it, is breaking it in little chunks, taking small breaks, and not trying to go all the way through, fatiguing yourself where you can't keep going later on. That's a good way of adapting it, essentially.
We also talked before we went live, now that Clara's back in the screen with her awesome 555 onesie on right there, but could always use the baby for this workout, hold her for squats and press above head, nice and slow and concise movements. So it's just as another option. But what did you think, Bobby?
I think that I should, and I've seen it before, I just don't do it when I don't have both fillers in my sandbag. Love you. when I don't have both fillers in my sandbag, if I'm doing a press, it gets a little floppy. I should have put pool noodles in there. So that's just another thing to stiffen it up. I didn't do, but I should have. And then my hips started bugging me and I started to get bad form on my squats, but I didn't happen until like 12 or 13. So I just backed them down to 10, because at 10, I was still doing good form. But at 12 and 13, I was starting to cave and go a little forward. So I stopped and just backed it down.
Good job listening to your body, not hurting yourself for a workout.
Broken. So
Yeah.
for the fans on YouTube watching right now, right? And that kind of a thing. But that's something, CJ and I were talking about that, listening to your body and being more self-aware as to how you feel. And if that's how you feel in the middle of a workout, it's one of those things where you want to go and make that change. So I think that's another big positive to this style of workouts and such. Watching right now, right? And that kind of a thing. But that's something. So who's that? Somebody's talking in the background there. So awesome. Well, that was a good one. I'm glad you guys all enjoyed it. When it comes to scaling, does anybody have any additions about scaling that we missed or we should talk about?
I think we covered a lot.
We could cover a lot. You could always add on. There's always more to go. Like, there's always some more stuff to talk about.
CJ, I think you made the best point, right? Saying it's not about ego, it's about the stimulus and doing the workout. And doesn't matter how you do it, what weight you use, what implement, as long as you get a good workout.
That's right. That's the whole point, not to hurt yourself trying to prove something.
Right.
I really want to do a shirt that says lift with your legs, not your ego.
Like calling for help when you have to lift someone and you need more help type thing, like totally right in there. Like, yeah, I've been there. I've seen that one. Like, I know how
I would buy one of those.
You buy one?
You buy
I'd
one
buy
of
one
those?
if you made one.
We got our first sale.
Thanks, CJ. We're trying to get out of the t-shirt business still. You're pulling out of the t-shirt business. We know some people though. Maybe I can make that shirt happen. That'd be a good one. I think too, to remember, you know, you're your own competition, you know, like in this whole world of everything we do, like it's fun to have, we're all type A go-getters and it's fun to have that little competition with other people, but it's not worth hurting yourself to do that, you know? So you're just trying to make yourself healthier and to get into that mindset, at least for me, I know is a big deal. And Terry is my competition too. Like we constantly text each other our scores just to see who actually won or who didn't win or anything in that. But it's not about winning. It's about your workout, right?
It's not about that RX weight.
Not about it. Definitely not about that. I'm not about that life no more, man. That RX weight number and me, not about
Doesn't mean anything.
Well, it's just a number. Someone just picked a number, like, you know, that everybody gets so emotionally attached to what's written on the board, but it's just a number someone picked. It doesn't mean that you have to do it. Tailor it to what you can do and what is best for you.
And that
I think it can be.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
sorry, I joined late. I said, I think that number can be unmotivating too, because people will say, I have to do that number. And then when they can't lift that weight or they get injured, they're like, well, I can't do this at all. And they end up going back to quitting. And if you just stop and listen to your body, it's more motivating to do the smaller numbers and work up. Those small wins build up to bigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah, very extremely well.
Does that make sense?
Even though you missed the workout, you know, we won't treat you any differently because you missed the workout. You showed up when the work got done type thing, right?
Sorry, I know I was doing part-time interviews and I had to drive 40 minutes back. I was like, I'll do it tomorrow, I promise.
There you go.
No worries. Again, too, this is one of those workouts that you can just take with you. You know, it's like put it in your pocket, scale it how you have to, change it how you have to, but it's that good, quick stimulus that I just love to see. And I actually did it, not yesterday, but the other day at the station, real quick, you know, just super quick, easy, knocked it out, got the workout in and went back about the day. So I think that's one of the things that I love about it. And with that too, and talking about the station, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the 555 Fitness grant application, right, CJ?
We would. It's coming up. Yeah, I promised it in the email too, so we should probably talk about it a little bit. Yeah, our grant opens up on March 1st, midnight Eastern Standard Time, goes through April 1st, midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you submit after, we're not going to look at it. You can't submit after, actually. But all the information is updated on our website. We have all of our partners on there and the equipment that they're giving us or the product that they're giving us. We have some like O2X that has some education on there. We have some new ones that are on the list that I could read if we want, but the best thing to do is go to our website, 555fitness.org/grants. We have some new information on our judging process. We're trying to answer as many questions as we can, make it as easy as possible for people to have a successful application. And then if anyone has questions, they can always email me.
Email, message, smoke signal, we answer them all, whatever that is, we can.
But please look at the website first because it'll probably answer your questions.
CJ has worked really hard to kind of get that website up where we have taken a lot of the questions we've gotten over the years and already answered them. And they may be the same question you have. So I'm sure people will still come up with new questions, and that's fine, but a lot of them are answered there. You know, one thing that's really big and key to point out too is that these grants are open to fire, EMS, police, dispatch centers, you know,
Wildland, rescue.
wildland rescue only stations. We've given one to a station that just did, was a rescue only station. Water rescue. It really has to do with emergency response.
Yeah, anyone who provides first responder services.
Yes, for sure. So that part of it is huge. And then another big part of it too is everybody who allows these grants to happen, who kind of allows us to do what it is we do. We put in the work to make it happen, but awesome partnerships like we have with ZOLL and here in the Pulse Check, you know, MSA Glow, Born Primitive, you know, these are the folks that we want you to support and go out there and see what they're doing, because these are companies that truly care about you. You know, this has nothing to do with anything but helping emergency responders get fit and get the equipment that they need. So we can't thank them enough at all.
Amen.
And I think the last big thing that we may as well drop now is that we have a new thing for this year's grant round that we've never had before. And we've talked about doing this for a while and we couldn't really figure out how, but we've received over, I think, 500 grant applications. And you know, the people who write this grant application, they take time out of their own schedule, life, whatever it is, to try to make their department a better place, right? To try to make it better for everyone in their department. So because of some awesome partners, we are now going to be able to reward the top 5 grant finalists with a little kind of thank you. So the folks who go through the judging process and make it to the top 5, the grant writers this year in the top 5, I'm just gonna keep saying the top 5, even though it's on the website, I wanna make sure this is clear. They're gonna get individually a 5, just 5 today. They're gonna get a 6-month membership to street parking, courtesy of our great friends at Street Parking. And they're gonna get the Bombero Blitz Belt, which is a lifting belt made out of retired fire hose from our friends at Blitz Belts. So that's just one more thing to say, hey, listen, take some time, read the questions, right, CJ? Read the questions.
Put some effort into it.
They're not really hard, but we want really good answers. You know, we look for that. We look for quality over quantity, right?
Well, that, and it's hard there's a lot of really good applicants is the problem. There's a lot of departments who need fitness equipment for one reason or another, whether they lost the equipment they had, the department's having trouble making the money, you know, prioritizing the fitness equipment over the staffing needs and the equipment needs that they have for the trucks. So we need the applicants to really tell us their story and give us that little piece that puts them over the top above all the other ones, because there's a lot of departments in need. And so we're trying to make sure that it goes to a department who will use the equipment first off. We don't want it collecting dust in the bay. And then also one who they don't have the ability to do things, or, you know, they're limited by what they have currently. So the applications are really what tell us that story, that help us pick a deserving department.
And it's this is like the part that gets really hard for us, because we read these and you're like, well, I want to make 10 finalists and we can't, you know, we just can't, you know, and you want to help so many people. But one thing I can say too about applying is that we've been able, because again, of partners like ZOLL and MSA and Born Primitive throughout the year, to go back into our grant applications and say, hey, this was number 2 for this grant, we can help them out. Or we have partners come in like a Dingus Fire and say that, you know, we want to do specific grants for departments in our area in this state. Who do you have that fits the bill here? And we keep those and curate them. And again, CJ's done a great job organizing this. It's definitely something I could not have done without her, or none of us could do the way she does it, but we're able to do that. So please submit. We can't stress that enough. You're going to see some cool ads next month with some folks asking you to submit that grant application. So we'll keep those.
And we go back into the previous applicants. That was Rep Heeds had put in for the Strength is Our Foundation grant, and VetWad had come to us saying, hey, we want to do something with a department with veterans there. And Rapides had mentioned it several times in their grant, and it stood out. And so Rapides was a great recipient for it.
Believe it or not, several grant applicants had talked about how many veterans that they had in their department. And it wasn't just like, oh no, it's just these people from Louisiana. We had to go through this is gonna, like the vetting process again with VetWad for the veteran grant, but we literally had to go through that because we had multiple grants that we knew had them, had a good representation of what VetWad was looking to donate to. So it's just one more reason to do it. You never know what's gonna happen in 2021 this year and who's gonna wanna give away some fitness equipment to the fire departments, and they come to us. So same thing with our fitness equipment partners, you know, Assault, Fringe Sport, Rep Fitness, Brute Force Training. I'm gonna just name them now because I'm going, right? So let me go. Crossover Symmetry, Hypervolt. I left somebody out. O2X, Fit Aid. What else?
Fire Science Nutrition.
Fire Science Nutrition.
And our Blitz Belts.
And now Blitz Belts, yeah, but these folks too sometimes say like, you know, we have some equipment. Who do you have that's in need of something specific? And that's why we ask, you know, what's some of the specific fitness equipment that you are looking for?
Wasn't that kind of how we got hooked up with BeaverFit, was all the veteran stuff because they work with so much military?
Oh my God, I totally forgot BeaverFit and the big box that they're giving away now with this, the TGB that's going along with this thing. But yeah, that was one of the ways that we met BeaverFit, and you know, it worked out with Rapides as well for the veteran connection. So please let us know all that information. Apply for the grant. You got to be in it to win it, right? We hear all the time. So awesome. Well, I can't thank everyone enough for joining us. I hope you got a great Friday afternoon workout. I hope you all stay safe and stay as warm as possible, because that seems to be the highlight of the day, as I'm still freezing in my garage right now. I wish I should have worn the wool hat, right? We have enough wool hats, but check us out at 555fitness.org. Look for next month's Pulse Check powered by ZOLL. I believe we're going to have, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop this right now, but celebrity Firehouse chef AJ Fusco on with us. And we're going to be talking about meal prepping for your shifts. And then we're going to do a workout. So we ought to get Chef AJ to work out with us. So that one may be a little bit longer because he's going to get some meal prep stuff going on there for us.
Awesome.
But Harry, while you can air squat your kids, I'm not going to air squat mine. I know, right?
Why weren't they working out? Do they have a basketball
They
game?
just got home from school and now they're going over to their travel softball facility to do an hour and a half of pitching and catching together.
Long as they got some kind of workout going.
If not, if Alexa misses her workout, she's big on getting back on the assault bike and just riding the bike for 20, 30 minutes.
Atta girl.
I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. I am going to hit this. Oh, wait, I got to hit this. Now, see, this is where we need Jeremy again. He knows all the buttons to hit. But we'll see you guys next month. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again.